Adam Morrison, averaging 28.1 points per game, and also went on to clinch the National Player of the Year honors with the Gonzaga University in the 2005 to 2006 season. He was one of the most outstanding scorers in college basketball during his time. From his deep-range shooting, crafty footwork, and his mid-post scoring, he was no doubt one of the unguardable players on court at the collegiate level. During his sophomore year in 2004 to 2005, he was averaging 19.0 points per game, 5.5 rebounds per game, 31.1% 3P, and 49.9% field goal. And during his junior year in 2005 to 2006 season, he was crushing it really hard, averaging 28.1 points per game, 42.8 3P, and 5.5 rebounds per game. His 2005/2006 season brought him the title consideration of one of the greatest scoring seasons in modern college basketball, where he went on to share the National Player of the Year with J.J. Redick, and also led Gonzaga to the Sweet 16. The hype was built around him, and many considered him to be one of the next big things in the NBA. However, what stands out in the collegiate might not necessarily be the best in the NBA. He got into the 2006 NBA draft as the third overall pick by the Charlotte Bobcats. His rookie season was expected to put the icing on the cake, but it turned out the other way. Morrison went on to struggle with efficiency, defensive struggles, and also a devastating ACL injury in 2007, which made him miss his entire second season. Despite returning from injury, he often struggled with confidence and athleticism. He was later traded to the Los Angeles Lakers, where he went on to win 2 championships to his name, despite being a bench player contributing minimal effort. He became a shadow of his collegiate years when he moved to the NBA. Over the course of his 4 NBA seasons, he went on to average 7.5 points per game, 2.1 rebounds per game, while his field game dropped from 50.3%, which he did in college, to 37.3% in the NBA. Jimmer Fredette, known as a national phenomenon at Brigham Young University. Jimmer Fredette was that promising player who was averaging 28.9 points and proceeded to win the National Player of the Year during the 2010/2011 season. At the NCAA level, he was averaging 18.7 points per game, 2.6 rebounds per game, 45.5% field goal, and 39.4 3P. His ability at the collegiate level paved way for him easily into the NBA, as he got drafted 10th overall by the Milwaukee Bucks in 2011 and later traded to the Sacramento Kings. Fredette was one of the college players who came into the league with high expectations. Unfortunately for him, he couldn't replicate any of his college performances in the NBA. During his best season in the NBA in 2011/2012, he was averaging 7.6 points per game, 1.2 rebounds per game, and by his final season in the league in 2018/2019, he was averaging 3.7 points per game and 1.2 rebounds per game. His decline was so sharp and obvious that his best performance was far behind him. While he remained a strong free throw shooter at 87.9%, his field goal percentage dropped from 45.5 in his college career to 40.9 in the NBA. He totally struggled to fit into the league, as the elite professional defenders made things complicated for him. Greg Oden. He was a dominant force who understood the concept of the game. He was a consensus All-American and went on to lead the Buckeyes to the 2007 National Championship game. Despite his 2006/2007 lone season sprinkled with a wrist injury, he went on to become the premier defensive anchor in college basketball. During his college final game in the 2007 National Championship, he went on to average 25 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 blocks against a Florida team that featured multiple future NBA stars. He looked so promising both on papers and on the court. He got drafted as number 1 overall in 2007 by the Portland Trail Blazers, way ahead Kevin Durant, but he ran out of luck as he played only 82 games for Portland across 5 seasons, before being waived to the Miami Heat in 2012, where he appeared in 23 games and reached the NBA Finals before his playing career ended. He missed out on his first season in the NBA following a microfracture surgery. Despite showing signs of efficiency, he was not able to sustain a regular role. During his NBA career, he went on to play a total of 105 games and averaged 8.0 points per game, 6.2 rebounds per game, 1.2 blocks per game, while having 65.8% free throw and 57.4% field goal. Danny Ferry stood as a dominant college star with the Duke University. He wasn't just delivering incredible stats, he was the core member of the Blue Devils, pushing them to 3 final appearances in 1986, 1988, and 1989. He also stood tall as the first player in ACC history to record at least 2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, and 500 assists. Fans of the NBA anticipated his coming into the league and wondered what he would perform on the court. Fast forward to 1989, Ferry was drafted number 2 overall by the Los Angeles Clippers. However, something odd occurred. He bannily refused to play for the Clippers and went on to spend his first professional season in Italy, playing for the Decennio Messaggero Roma in 1989/1990, where he averaged 22.6 points per game and 6.5 rebounds per game. Before debuting for the Cleveland Cavaliers, he was on a 10-year contract when he decided to join the Cleveland Cavaliers via a trade option. He was signed on a 10-year, $34 million guarantee. This happened because he couldn't become a star early during that contract. So the bus label was often used by fans who felt his output on the court didn't match up to the salary or even the draft position he got. As time went on, he couldn't make it to an all-star, so he tried to reinvent himself as that three-point shooting role player. He was able to cling on to an NBA championship with the San Antonio Spurs in 2003 before going ahead to retire. He went on to play a total of 13 NBA career seasons, where he played in 917 games and averaged 7.0 points per game, 2.8 rebounds per game, 1.3 assists per game, and a 44.6% field goal. Shabazz Muhammad. He went on to play for only one collegiate season, and that was the 2012 to 2013 season at the University of California, Los Angeles, where he averaged 17.9 points and 5.2 rebounds per game. He earned himself the All-Pac-12 first-team honors and finished among the conference's leading scorers as a freshman. As he progressed to the NBA, he was drafted 14th overall by the Utah Jazz in 2013 before being traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Shabazz Muhammad was another promising prospect from the NCAA who crossed and almost lost all of his momentum. He was able to play across over 5 seasons in the NBA, 2013 to 2018, averaging a total of 9.0 points and 2.8 rebounds per game, and shooting 43.4% from the field. He recorded his highest scoring season in the NBA during the 2014 to 2015 season, where he averaged 13.5 points per game in 23.8 minutes. Subscribe and share for more NBA content. Thanks. Hasheem Thabeet. If there was one way to define him, it is defense. Hasheem Thabeet's collegiate performance at the University of Connecticut averaged 13.6 points, 10.8 rebounds, and 4.2 blocks per game as a junior in 2008 to 2009. He won consecutive Big East Defensive Player of the Year awards and was widely regarded as the premier rim protector in college basketball. His interior presence powered UConn to a Final Four appearance, elevating his draft stock significantly. And in 2009, he was drafted 2nd overall by the Memphis Grizzlies in the NBA draft. There were a series of expectations from him, as many saw him as a franchise anchor, elite defensive big, and a long-term cornerstone. But instead, his offensive limitations and slow foot speed were exposed almost immediately. As a rookie, he went on to average just 3.1 points and 3.6 rebounds in short minutes. He was even assigned to the G League during his first season, which was an alarming development for a number 2 pick. Across 5 NBA seasons with multiple teams, Thabeet went on to average 2.2 points and 2.7 rebounds per game. His collegiate advantage of 7'3" was neutralized by stronger and faster professionals. Without refined post moves or lateral mobility, he struggled to stay on the floor. Hansbrough. Popularly known as Psycho T, he was one of the most highly decorated players in the history of the NCAA. The energy and style in which he plays at the collegiate level did translate to a role player in the NBA. Hansbrough's professional career was labeled a bust, mainly because of his extraordinary college domination. He was a 4-time first-team All-American at North Carolina and is still the all-time leading scorer in the Atlantic Coast Conference. He played a total of 142 games during his NCAA career, averaged 20.2 points per game, 8.6 rebounds per game, and a 53.6% field goal. And by 2009, he was drafted 13th overall by the Indiana Pacers. Despite his promising potential from the college, he was only able to play 7 career seasons in the NBA and was unable to attain that superstar status many projected he was going to be. During his days at the Pacers from 2009/2013, which happens to be his most productive years in the league, he averaged a career high of 11.0 points per game during the 2010/2011 season. and by the time he moved to Toronto Raptors in 2013 to 2015, he was only able to serve as a key interior energy player off their bench. And his final NBA season came with the Charlotte Hornets in 2015 to 2016, where his minutes on the court and production dropped to an all-time 2.4 points per game. His college legacy did outshine his NBA career. During his NCAA, he finished his career with a 2,872 points that stands as a league record. He was crowned the free throw king with a total of 982, made it to the National Collegiate Basketball Hall of Fame in 2023. Thomas Robinson. His final season at the University of Kansas was quite emphatic. In the 2011 to 2012 season, he averaged 17.7 points and 11.9 rebounds, earning himself the consensus All-American honors and leading Kansas to the national championship game. Robinson understood how to combine physical rebounding with efficient interior scoring, thereby shooting over 50% from the field. He was drafted 5th overall in 2012 by the Sacramento Kings. Robinson entered the league projected as a high motor power forward, ready to contribute immediately to the league and get his name stamped as a high performer. But instead, his professional career became defined by instability. He was traded multiple times within his first 2 seasons, and his stats drop-off was sharp. He averaged 4.9 points and 4.8 rebounds across 6 NBA seasons. His lack of elite height for a power forward and limited perimeter skill set went on to restrict his role in the league. On the defensive part, he struggled so badly as he tried guarding quicker forwards, while offensively he lacked a consistent mid-range or three-point threat. While he was in college, effort and strength separated him from opponents, but this time in the NBA, nearly every player he came across matched that intensity and exceeded it athletically. Anthony Bennett. Anthony Bennett's rise was so swift for a player of his caliber. At University of Nevada, Las Vegas, he averaged 16.1 points and 8.1 rebounds as a freshman in 2012 to 2013 season, while shooting 53% from the field and 37.5% from 3. His blend of strength and perimeter touch intrigued scouts. The Cleveland Cavaliers selected Bennett 1st overall in 2013. Expectations for a number 1 pick are franchise-altering, and for him the tide was higher. However, Bennett's rookie season was historically inefficient. He averaged 4.2 points on 35.6% shooting. He couldn't live up to the hype as there were a series of conditioning concerns and shoulder issues, which went on to further limit his performance on the court. Over 4 NBA seasons with multiple franchises, Bennett went on to average 4.4 points and 3.1 rebounds. He never secured a consistent rotation role, unlike in college where he could overpower defenders, but the reality in the NBA neutralized his strength advantage. His defensive awareness and his conditioning were questioned throughout his tenure. He remained one of the most scrutinized number 1 picks in the history of the league. Tyrus Thomas. He was a standout freshman at LSU where he clung on to the 2006 SEC Freshman of the Year. His career at the college made way for him to easily cross over into the NBA, drafted as 4th overall pick in the 2006 NBA draft by the Chicago Bulls. The expectations for him were quite clear: elite rim protection, dynamic weak side defense, and developing offensive upside. Although his early momentum included a 10.8 points, 6.4 rebounds, and 1.9 blocks per game average in his 2008 to 2009 season. However, he encountered several inconsistencies with his development. However, his momentum stalled in 2009 to 2010 after he fractured his forearm during practice and eventually lost his starting spot to rookie Taj Gibson before being traded. In February 2010, he was traded to the Bobcats for Ronald Murray and AC Law. Charlotte later signed him for a 5-year, $40 million contract, but it went on to become a significant burden as his production output did not match up the expectations. He went on to struggle with a combination of calf injuries and a cyst on his spinal cord, which went on to make him feel lethargic, and he was released via an amnesty clause in July 2013.